Eric, good morning.
Good morning.
I know we're here at AHR and checking everything out, and I came across something this morning I think that might be a really cool thing to talk about because, as you know, skilled trades and everything that you and I work on and the industry works on and trying to build more technical resources and deepen the talent pool, I thought this was a really cool thing to talk about. So I wanted to introduce you to a couple of friends of mine, Everett and Shanique.
Hello.
And
nice meeting you.
My buddy Eric Crawford from Ultra Pure. And what we've been talking about, and you guys, we've talked about it yesterday some, in how we've got to build our talent pool of people for our industry. And here we are at the ASHRAE AHR show, where everything's mechanical, air conditioning, training related. So when I saw this banner, I'm like, man, we got to talk about this because this is something that could go a long way. And what we talked about was like, how do you do purposeful training in the right way? And if you think about the distractions of, like here we're in Las Vegas and everything's everything all the time, 24/7, and it can get a little bit distracting.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to drill down on one thing. So I was thinking about it last night, really, after I saw this banner yesterday. If you take good training curriculum with a good instructor and have it in a designated place that's away, but not real far away, but it's isolated where you can focus. And then you work on something during the day, and then you have time in the evening or afternoon or early morning to have a little bit of fun, get out, do your exercise, what have you, in the fresh air. What better place to do it than in the Bahamas?
Of course.
What do y'all think about it? I mean, you're the Bahamian contingent to the booth here today, so what about it?
Yeah, first of all, we are very, very happy to share our thoughts and want to share our home with you. We live there, we just don't go there.
Right.
Now, with that said, just kind of tell you exactly where the Bahamas is. The first island, which is very close to Florida, is 50 miles away from Florida. We are a little bit further south, a little bit more remote, but not that remote that you can't get all the amenities that you may want as you visit the island and you have your training. Once your training session is over and you look for a little bit of that relaxation that we can offer in the Bahamas, this is where my partner and I would come in and we can give you whatever, however you can imagine it. If you can express it to us, we can give it to you once that training session is over with for that particular day.
So you could put that custom hospitality into the curriculum.
The answer is yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
Because once you
Exactly. You got to
fishing,
fish.
oh,
You got
Gotta
to fish.
fish.
You know, in the Bahamas, in San Salvador Island, we have some of the best fishing in the world. Now, if you're not that type of person and you say, well, I just want to do some ordinary fishing, or I want to cast, it's all there. That is for the bonefish, the tarpon, it's all there in the island.
So, Eric, think about this. If you were going to do training for Ultra Pure, your company, do you see an isolated training, really focused and intense, get what you need to get, separate over, have a little off time, and maybe use it as a reward for your high performers, or what do you think?
Where I could see a huge reward coming from is the technicians that we do have throughout the country with companies like yourself, is reward those technicians with a trip to the Bahamas, but get them really, really intimate with our equipment in a very cool environment. I think it's just a win-win. You get the curriculum, you get the training. I was reading here and you could customize, it looks like, the training.
Yeah.
So you could look at screw chillers, you could look at controls, you could look at HVAC, and it's all customizable so we can...
Well, talking with the good folks at iConnect who kind of brainstormed this whole idea, they're going to have all of their training apparatus down there, as well as the digital piece, the in-clarity piece. So you could do really you could do a hopscotch. You could do a day of this, a day of that, a day of that, and then maybe a specialty like Ultra Pure. Bring in one day.
Side.
Yeah. So very cool. All right, my dear, tell us about what you feel like. We've been talking about this, so how does it come together for you?
Oh, based on what you were saying, the only thing that I would like to add to that is we have a saying in the Bahamas that in the big cities, you have the clock. In the Bahamas, we have the time. So
That's really good.
yeah, and lots of time in abundance, where you want to, after an intense training, because the life in the island and the rhythm is cool, calm, and relaxed. So once your technicians get in that environment, they're gonna understand the island rhythm, where you kind of slow it down a little bit, get inside the classrooms, and just, get it all done.
So true. You get so caught up in the riffraff.
Right. And I got to add this too, when the training is all done, the whole week period, you will now have someone who is rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Who's going to say, man, I was in the Bahamas for a whole week. I did this training. I am ready to go to work to produce with my bosses because I want them to send me back to the Bahamas.
See, the way I think about it is like the yin and the yang. Like, because I'm super focused, because I have to be, because my brain goes everywhere. But when I'm thinking about something, I'm locked in on it. But then when I'm done locked in, I look at that and I'm like, all right, I need that now. So it's like a good play, like really tenacious and very dug in. And then all of a sudden, okay, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, let's go have fun. So I think it'd be a really cool concept. I love the thought. I think about, you mentioned chillers, you mentioned DDC training for controls. When you think about specialized stuff, the things that we're here at AHR to learn about for our industry, I've talked a lot about refrigerants this week, the different kinds of refrigerants that are coming onto the market, and how our technicians and our leadership have to really think about, okay, we've got new refrigerants, how do we transport them just in safety? Like you got a bunch of new gas in the van, how do you handle the van? What are the pressure, temperature characteristics of this refrigerant versus this? So you come together and you work on that kind of stuff in the day, and then you go and you cast a line out in the evening, or freaking do some yoga on the beach and kind of get your head right, and then you come back home and really be able to drill down and apply it.
Yeah.
And Greg, I got to put this in there too, because you may be the technician. You can bring your significant other or your wife and your children, and you can have a family, because we do have those kind of accommodation that is available.
That's, I hadn't thought about that piece, because you could do both. You could have company only if you really wanted, like for you, if you wanted to have strategic planning just for your company.
Yep.
But then if you wanted to open up and more of the reward, like we were talking about, then you open it up a little bit wider picture, because some people don't want to travel with their family. Maybe it's a break for them to go and get educated, and then you come back with education that then you can apply at work to make their vacation better next time. So
I could understand that too. Yeah.
I like the fact that you could customize it. It's not just a boilerplate training vacation type. You could customize it, and that's really neat. I like it in the standpoint of getting people to train is hard. It's really hard. It's time. But
which, to her point,
exactly.
we've got a clock, she's got the time.
Oh, and time indeed we have. And the Bahamas is such a unique place and a beautiful place. So tranquil. When you look at this picture and you see the tranquility, and I want you to believe that is what you're gonna get. It is exactly what you're gonna get. And we have an excursion that we call Key Escapade. What it does is it takes you to a private island where you're just gonna de-stress, unwind, and totally just forget the world for a day. And we take you there, and there you're going to enjoy a lobster lunch. Can you imagine? Your feet is just washed by the waves as you enjoy and indulge yourself in a lobster, nice beef kebabs. And guess what? Your office becomes the ocean and the waves.
You sold me. You completely sold me. So, and you get the training on top of it.
Exactly.
And you get the
It's like
training
a
on top of
twofer.
it. 2 for 1.
I
I think that's the exceptional incentive that any company would want to give their employees. It's such a wonderful experience. Absolutely.
Well, training is something that is really unique, because some people want it, some people need it, some people are both. And being able to hit all the topics with the destination type training that's far but not real far, isolated but not desolate, it really gives you a lot of options.
100%.
Well, guys, thanks so much for telling us about the Bahamas. I look forward to getting down there and doing some intense training and fishing.
And
Well,
fishing.
you know, Greg, I got to mention this to you.
Right, do it.
These photos here, they are not touch. That's actual, contractual. Weather condition may cause you to have distortion with the water, but for most part, this is what you will get.
All right. You sold me.
You sold me. We're going to see you down there for sure.
Very well,
All
man.
right.
Thank you
so
very much.
man. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Yeah,
I really
thank you, man.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Everett, very
Yes.
nice. Very nice.
Pleasure. All right. Okay.
All right.